it's Not So Christian Brothers, what we like to call the after show.
What? Hold on. What are we talking about?
What?
What are we talking about? How's this going to work?
Where have you been? We're talking about actually being men and sports and just associating with your friends and being sort of putting that front out there. Like when you come into a bar and you use to break the ice,
Yes,
you
yeah,
say,
yeah.
"Oh, did you see the game?" and so forth. We're all men here, so it's an aspect that I would be used to. I grew up in a sports
Bicycle
world.
skiing, yeah.
So,
So I was saying there that I felt it was on the last show that it was a really it's a great icebreaker. Like I'm wondering, can you be a therapist and you only speak to the other person and it's, and it's sports parlance, because we do tend to do it a lot, And do you feel it's a nice icebreaker, or it can make you feel you can gauge a guy with
look, it's
how he is?
I think it even not just goes between friends, male friends. I think it transitions between brothers as well, brother to brother, but from son to father. Like my conversations with my father relate around sports, football, Manchester United. I don't feel that men we have as much intimate conversations. We don't go in and lay ourselves bare on front of the table with a couple of points on us. We might later on, but then your mate's going to forget anyway. So that's about as close as we get. But I feel that being able to have those conversations and normality of just being thrown the game around, like saying, "Did you see the Super Bowl?" Right, where I'd be like, "Yes, I saw the Super Bowl. By the way, did you see the defense? They were hammered. The Seahawks were amazing in defense. The Patriots had their offense was terrible. He was sacked like 6 times, in the first half. It was just mental game, so it gives you that full conversation, and then that leads into something else.
But I mean, even my son, with Alex, when he rings me or I ring him, before we get into the body of the conversation, we were at the game last Sunday in the Aviva, the Bows-Pats game. He stayed up to watch the Super Bowl. I know United again played West Ham last week. That generally the first 5 minutes of the conversation will be about sports, and we're picking up about sports, and then it'll be, hey Colm, hey Dad, hey whatever, can I, get into what it was you're about. If Holly rings, it's never going to be about sports. Now she enjoys a bit of rugby in that, but wouldn't be as sports knowledgeable, or wouldn't see it as important an opening conversation. So you just get immediately into why she's ringing. While with Alex, it's definitely sports at the start.
Yeah, there's definitely different things that we would have. Like Justin obviously has a son, so his conversation with your sons will be different than if you were to have it with a daughter.
Yeah,
because women come from a point of view where they would be more emotional. So they have an emotional aspect to them. So they come with an emotional foot forward, I would say. So they will always ask you how you are, or how have you been, or something along the lines like that. Where men, we tend not to open with that statement, even though we probably should, but it doesn't mean that we do.
No, but we don't. I mean, it's that's probably why therapy is there, because that's when you do, and like we spoke about this before. Can men have very strong female friends without wanting anything other than just having a female friend? And I think with the female friends I have, I like them because you can have that other conversation. It can be, well, how are you? How's things? What are you up to?
You've no female friends, Justin, have you?
These female
Oh,
friends.
I have. Yeah. I mean, I
There is a barring order, though.
Yeah. I mean, the ones that I have,
Yeah.
they claim that they're not my friends.
Betsy,
and I'm not allowed
Tootsie,
inside their house.
And Cindy, we don't know what they do.
No, I do. I probably have more female friends than male friends, but I like
Interesting.
I just don't really do small talk friendship stuff generally. Though I'm not really interested in it, so I don't do it.
Same parents, different timelines, and united by chaos. Strap in for the not-so-Christian brothers.
Terry, do you have female friends?
No, I don't have any female
You're not
friends.
allowed?
No, not allowed. I don't actually have a lot of male friends either. I'm quite recluse, I would
Is that
say.
because you're single? Oh, sorry, not single. Right, sorry.
So let's retrace that. My wife listens to the show. What do you mean you're
Sorry
single?
to break it this way. Oh,
It's not because you keep
God.
wearing those sandals, Terry.
Yeah,
He was talking about stuff when the cameras weren't on. No, I mean, an only child. Would that be like? I'm just wondering. If you're an
Yeah.
only child, would you end up having more friends than somebody that has brothers and sisters, or less friends? Or is
I'm
there
very comfortable on my own.
right?
I'm very comfortable. I don't need somebody else to, I suppose, plumose me or give me entertainment.
But is that
or-
because you're an only child? That's what I'm saying.
I'm
Do you
saying
think
it could be. It
Well,
could be.
I'd agree, right? And like I kind of grew up like an only child too, right? So, but I grew up probably from the age of 6 with nobody else in the house, and so you.
Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin. Mom and Dad were there. I know they weren't great.
No, I
Just
know.
so-
No,
yeah, yeah.
I know. But I mean, in the context of only of not having siblings, I think it's a superpower because I agree with you. Like I don't need to have other people around me at all, and I see that with Luca, my son, who is an only child. My wife had gone mad for even using that word. She calls it something else, but I can't remember what it is. But anyway, so I do think that you get a level of independence, and you don't need to have any other people
Very
around.
much so. Yes.
And I am very happy in my own company. Like I will predominantly be on my own with Beatrice or with Luca. Occasionally in a social environment, I'd say I'm either working or with them.
I am exactly the same. I'm actually very, very comfortable on my own, and I like my own time, and I like my own space. And I think one of the ways that I was able to get through and getting through is that I'm actually very happy to. And people go, "Oh my God, you're in tonight and you're on your own. I mean, we need to call over. We need to do something. We need to helicopter in." And I go, "No, I'm absolutely fine. I'm going off to the movie on my own. That sort of stuff." And I now this has got me thinking: is this a male female thing? Like, are women as comfortable on their own as men?
Well, my wife is more comfortable on her own than I am.
Is she?
And I would have thought that's hard to be more comfortable than I am. But yeah, I think, look, again, I just because whole stereotypical thing about women do this and men do that, I don't really agree. I think.
But there is a difference. I mean,
There definitely is a
There's
difference in
matriarchal and
certain
patriarchal.
things.
They carry around the baby.
Yeah.
We're out.
Well, it
you know,
depends, though. I
collecting
mean,
us. There is a difference.
I just think it depends. I think the society's changed. Like young women are very different nowadays. They're very independent. They don't want to have babies. They don't want to get married. They don't want to settle down.
Okay, but
They
the
see
average
world
woman is
differently.
going to have babies, is going to settle down, and the DNA is that they are much more emotional because they are much more protective of humans, i.e., their own children, while we're more out there.
I do agree on both
We were-
fronts.
we were
You
talking about
can't
the trial.
deny the DNA of what we're born with and what we're programmed
No,
into.
I meant
and you
men
go
are
with
going to
that.
start having babies. I'm all for that.
No,
now.
no. But
Are you?
you're the
No.
man that talks about how we are programmed with our instincts in us from birth. Like
Yeah.
you go back through the past and how
Yeah.
we were male and expert. But
Yeah.
yes, I do also agree that society nowadays has more opportunity for women to be more independent on themselves and make choices and grow in different ways. But then when you actually look back in actually history, which is even more detailed, which was hidden from a lot of people, is do you know actually the female within an environment was actually more looked after than the male because they were the ones that nurtured and raised the towns. So they were more represented in the sense of like when you go back to like the 16th, 17th
Terry,
century.
you don't have to go back to that. You just have to go to any male in the house.
And go, where's
They're
my
always itching around the place trying to get a bit of sex, right? Women have the power.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So women have always the power. Cleopatra, women
Yeah.
have the power, right? They determine predominantly
When it's going to happen.
And if they don't, right,
Yeah,
that's not actually legal. So,
Surprise!
so I think the power is with women more often than not. But I just think all I'm saying is I don't think we should be stereotypical. I think the birth rate is dropping dramatically. France went to 1.6 today. They reckon that they're in decline from I think it's only 7 years out from a declining population. We have this problem across Europe.
Yeah.
We need people to have more babies. In France, they're going to write to every 29-year-old, and they're going to get a letter this year asking them to remember that they should have children.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, the funny thing is, you're speaking about that. I've been to Portugal a couple of times now because our friends moved there, and we're in Porto, and they are so nice to families, young families with children and so forth. Like, it's very much a family country.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of families. There's not a lot of people. Like, we walk around town, the city centre in Porto, and I would say with myself, my wife, and our little girl, and we bump into half a dozen families with children in a city. It's absolutely crazy to think about that.
Why? Because they're just not there, or they've moved away.
They're
Just not having kids.
As Justin said, young people just aren't having families.
Listen, it's what you said the last time as well. Like in America, last Thursday, people can't afford to live in Wendy's anymore. Live in Wendy's.
Live in Wendy's.
Eat in Wendy houses. Actually, it's a great first step of the property ladder. A nice Wendy house.
Nice Wendy house.
Because they can't afford to eat in Wendy's because there's so little money around. I mean, I know. Okay, my kids are grown up now, but I mean, the people I work with, and especially anyone who has 3 kids. I mean, when they tell you about the expense of 3 kids, like just in grocery bills, especially if 2 of them are a teenager who eat like elephants, and you have another one come along, and you might have school and all the school expenses. They now have to work out a budget to see if they can afford the 3rd kid. Like in my day. And before, the 3rd kid happened after a Friday night at the pub.
Yeah.
You didn't even talk about it. I mean, and there was 7 or 8 kids running around the house.
Back in the day, I used to be able to take the piss about that and say that was in the 1950s, but I'm not allowed take a poke at your age anymore.
I wasn't around in the 1950s, so that was clearly a little poke saying I want to have a little poke.
So is there? Am I right? There's 4 in your family. Is that right? 2 brothers, 2 sisters, or is
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So my dad.
There was 5.
There was 5, right? Well, my dad has 12, or there was 12 in the family, and they came from Crumlin, lower class economy, obviously working class people. My great grandfather was a mover for furniture and so forth.
Shaker.
Shaker. My gran, as I said, she smoked woodbines from like when she was 8 years of age, tipless. So it's a different environment. Tipless, tip, not titless. You dirty bastards.
Again, smoking those woodbines. Put your top on, look.
That's why we have. That's why we have 12 children, you bitch.
You're burning your nipples.
But,
tipless, as in they didn't have a tip.
They didn't have a tip.
Filterless.
Filterless. Filterless. Sorry, tipless. But
so what's your point, Terry?
Smoke more woodbines.
No, but what
get your top off, and you'll have 12 kids. That's what they should put in that
and
letter in France.
Social media.
Reduce
Reduce social media.
They should give a packet of woodbine now with that letter.
Packet of woodbines and get your tits out, and you'll solve the shortage of children.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Ouvre le nipple.
Is
it? Yeah.
And also, actually about your social media thing, I didn't even know that court case existed. I don't obviously do social media, which is a weird thing to say, but like nowadays.
But you do YouTube, but is that?
That's it.
But that's because it's part of your business. It's not because it's part of your folly.
Yeah, it's not because I folly or do anything. And it's where I catch up a bit of sports news and stuff like that. But that's it. Like that's
so
it.
I do Instagram. I do them all, right?
Right.
And I will say I do them all because of work, right? What's that?
2 minutes.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were giving me the 2 fingers.
He just did. Hey.
I'll do them all because I say I'll do them all because of work, because we're posting up, in the radio station or even stuff here. But then it also gives you a great excuse to be on it. To be honest, my screen time is disastrous.
Well, my wife, would just found a new thing where she found on her iPhone settings that she could set her Instagram for time. After 15 minutes, it cuts her off, and that's it. It cuts her out for the day. So she's been using that, and that she says that's really helped immensely in her sort of usage of Instagram and stuff like that. So it does have to reduce, and I think maybe going back to why the youth of today have less children is because we're the internet. We're literally overwhelmed with so much information that they just like.
I think it's also they just can't. I just also think they can't afford a 3rd child or a 2nd child. Or some couples will want 1 child and then they work out the budget. Like living is really expensive at the moment, And
dying is extraordinarily difficult.
How do you mean?
Well, you said living is really expensive.
Oh, right.
The opposite is dying.
I said dying is expensively cheap. And on that,
On that note, yeah.
That was so the after show. Yes, the after show, which is a show. If you're watching it now, it drops on a
Is the
on
after?
a Sunday.
This is the Sunday.
This is the after show. Justin hasn't slept in 3 days.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to chop some logs.
I like
In
your shirt.
1978.
I like it. It's definitely a type of shirt I would wear. I would definitely have
Yeah,
it.
and there you go. Right,
Yeah.
that would go well with Terry sandals.
Terry Sanders up the mountain.
There's that. And I also have a cowboy hat at home that would go pretty well with it
I
as
should have
well.
worn my baseball cap. I got a baseball cap now as well.
Yeah.
Which we bought in Miami, so I look sort of. Yeah,
Does it say "Make America Great Again"?
it does. Yeah, what? No, it says MAGA. What does that mean?
On that note, please subscribe.
Yeah, please subscribe, like. Thank you.
Thank you.